YouTube, it's Maddie the Empty Nest Scrapper. Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you stopped by. If it's your first time, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you do, remember to like, subscribe, share, all the things. And if you're returning, I'm really glad you came back after all this time. So this is a super long-awaited unboxing. This is my Mother's Day gift. So it's been sitting in the craft room for quite some time. I did have some issues going on and I just didn't have it in me to have this joy. So today with you, let's take a look and see what's inside. So anyone who is a subscriber to my channel and still popped on to see me and say hi, I really super appreciate you. And every single comment, every single thumbs up, really appreciate that. This is an item, a super splurge that I was looking at that I definitely do not need. Please let me know. Are you guilty of that? Do you really want things that you really don't need? If this is you, Misery Loves Company. Oh, look at that. I opened it upside down. So one thing I will say, this item is way heavier than I anticipated. So let's pull up the box and see if you recognize what that is. Yep. If you follow Anna Griffin at all, you know that she came out with a mid-size Impress. And that's right, you know that I already have the teeny tiny baby Impress, which I have loved for many years. This one is super lightweight. You can pick it up with one hand and travel with it. And that's what I might use it for moving forward. But it is a dynamo. So I thought that this particular machine might be the answer to using one machine primarily in my craft room, because right now I keep the little Impress Mini and my trusty Gemini Junior right here for larger items. I think the opening in the Gemini Junior might be larger than this mid-size Impress, and if that's the case, I will still have to keep her around for those times that I have larger dies that I need to address. But the Impress has been so fabulous for any die cutting needs, where you don't ever have to, I don't ever have to worry about my plates bending. And if you have a die cut machine, you know that's a big problem. So this is 5x10 cutting plates. I'll open that in a minute. And next up, I think, is the machine herself. Pardon me while I tip her over and see if I could pull it out. Which, not sure how easily I can do that, but maybe I'll flip it over on its head and see if that helps me at all. She is a heavy one. I think she might be even heavier than the Gemini Junior. Yeah, I do. But be this as it may, I'm expecting that it might have a little bit of a smaller footprint. So box after box, here we are. This one comes on a turntable, complete already. You don't have to buy that extra. Here it is, right here. Power cord. And let's take these off. Oh, wow, it really is a nice small footprint though. I will, oh, that is the front for you. So I will open her up and I will pull the Gemini Junior back over, and maybe even the little baby Empress, just so you could see a size reference if that's something that you might be interested in. So although it's heavy, it is a little tiny footprint and will probably manage quite a bit more than the baby Empress or the original Junior, however you want to look at it. So there it is, the Empress Mini Elite, I think she's calling it. So the footprint, let me take the baby over. Footprint is not very different at all. Just, well, maybe it is a little bit different, but the weight, there's a huge difference in weight. So let me grab a ruler if you have any interest in that at all. I will take care of comparing those two things for you. So this brand new one is almost 9.5 inches, and little guy is about 7.5. Height, I want to say it's tough to measure because I can't get at the bottom with this one. Let's move to a different ruler and make it easier on myself. All right, height-wise, I'll show you. First, let me see. It's 5 1/4, I believe. So if you can see that, probably not. Don't think you can see it, but it is 5 1/4. And the depth is 4 inches. This one for depth, little baby, is it deeper? No, it can't be. Let me see. No, they're exactly the same depth, 4 inches. And this guy for height is 4.5. So even though this one is not too large. Oh, look, it's got handles though. It's got handles on the side. This one has a handle on the top, super handy. But this one, at least, oops, sorry about that, has handles on the side. So if you do want to move it around, it's pretty handy. All right, so it does have turntable already included, which is a plus. Did purchase this on scrapbook.com, and I'm reading the name. It's the Elite Mini, so I don't know if I said it properly or not, but that is the actual name. So let me take a look, see if there's any particular way to attach this. Not sure about that. Which way? No, I believe it's probably the other way. Let's see if I could just pop it on and make it swivel. Do you click in somehow? Or maybe that's a case for it. I don't know. How do you pop that on? Well, I mean, I could look at the instructions. Do you think that's what I should do? Not really sure. I'm not a instructions kind of gal. Oh. Did that do it? No, because you pick it up and it pops right off. So let's see. Let's break down. Let's look at the instructions and see if we can make that work. Does this even give instructions for the turntable? Oh yeah. Face up. So I did it wrong already because this is the picture for face up. and center it on top. Let's see if I can center it on top. Who knows? Maybe yes, maybe no. I'm not sure. It's not swiveling. Now it's swiveling. But I feel like when I pick it up, it should come up, and it didn't. Maybe that's what I feel like, but that's not how it works. I don't know. I don't know. Has anyone seen somebody raise the Impress with the swivel on, and did it or did it not pop up with it? I don't know, but it does swivel just fine. And we may or may not use that, but we have it just the same. So that's pretty handy. Now I'm going to give you a little look. Let me move that. Let me give you a little look at the size comparison between the Impress Mini Elite compared to the Gemini Junior. So come on, mister. Let's see. So Gemini Junior is quite a bit more hefty, I would say. Move this so we can get them both in screen. Now I'm looking at it on the screen. It does not look very different. Let me measure it and see if it's just my eye. So this is, again, 9 and almost a quarter. And this buddy is, 11. So it is quite a bit longer. It's not as tall, though. The Impress is taller. The Impress is 5.5. And the Gemini Junior is about 5 1/4, and the Impress is only 4 1/2, and the Gemini Junior, we're gonna move it back just a smidge to get that measurement. This guy is 7 1/2, so it's quite a bit longer. So even though it's a little bit taller, the footprint is going to be a lot smaller if I choose to keep it on my desk, which was my hope. So that will be something that remains to be seen. But the key difference here, and this is where I think the Gemini Junior wins, is that the opening for the Junior is here 6 1/2 inches, and for the Mini Elite it is 5 1/2 inches. So the plate is probably even a little bit smaller, but I'm going to open the plates next. So get along, little buddy. I will come back to you later and we'll talk perhaps today, maybe on a different video. I'm not sure. I'm really not that sure. But, oh, it slides pretty easily though, so that's a plus. But let me pull out the plates, and this is where the Impress really, really shines. So, let me see about opening up the plates. And I do have from the baby machine my baby plates that I understand will also work lovely in this machine. Of course, if I choose to be using larger dies, I will have to use the larger plates. But the sides of the plates will absolutely let me know what size dies it can handle. For the most part, the baby one can handle almost anything that I throw at it. I don't use ginormous dies, so that's why it's not that huge of an issue for me. But here you are. You can take a look at that. I will just take one and measure it for you, plate A, and that is this one you could probably see better. There. Maybe not. To my eye, that length is a 10-inch plate. But this is the part that I am really thinking that I might miss out on using some of my dies. And this is only 5 inches across. And I believe 5 and a smidge, I believe. But I don't know. Some of my embossing folders, I believe, are going to be larger than this. And honestly, those large embossing folders that I have, I feel like they're cumbersome, and I wish they were smaller, and I might actually cut them down. So I don't know if you feel that way about some of the larger embossing folders where they say, hey, you can do 2 A2 panels with just one run, and I'm thinking, I don't want to do that. Why do I want that? So the baby plate, you can see the difference here. So these are, a plate is 4 inches and 7.5. So I wouldn't mind if these plates were a little bit smaller. Honestly, I don't do anything this long. If she has smaller plates available, I will probably hop on board with those, but this is what it came with, and so this is what I'm using. I am going to pull out, if I have my embossing folders here, I'm going to pull out one of my larger embossing folders and see if they are too large, and I think they will be, but like I said, I might actually cut some down if I think it's too annoying. Yeah. Okay. So those of you who haven't seen this before, this is how I keep my embossing folders. I have 2 of these babies. So this is a normal size embossing folder. And in the back, I have some embossing folders from, I think, Simon Hurley, maybe? Let me see if it says. Yeah, Spellbinders, Simon Hurley. These are enormous, and I don't have really any use to emboss anything this large. I don't understand the design thought on that, and it's just a smidge too large. Let me see if that would go through even if it wasn't in the plate. Just a smidge off. So I don't know if it's possible to cut through. This is pretty hefty. So it goes through fine the Gemini Junior, but not this baby. So that's disappointing. That is very disappointing, but I still do have my Gemini Junior, so I'm not going to fret too much about that. I don't know why they make those so large, because this should really is large enough to handle any embossing folder for a 5x7. It is a full 5 inches. So why create a embossing folder 5.5, 5.25? I don't know. But the embossing folders came first, to be fair. So Anna, don't know why you wanted to exclude Spellbinders from the possibility, but that's what happened. So if that's a concern for you, maybe this is not your cup of tea. So moving right along, what are my first impressions? Well, I am disappointed that this guy stays put when you pick this up. But the fact that, oh, wait a minute, are these like stickers that should come off? No. Nope. Nope, nope, no. I don't think so. But, are they? No, I don't think so. I think we're just supposed to lay it on there. And just not move the machine. That's what I think. So, yeah, it's a nice little addition. I don't know if I'm going, I never really spin mine. I just reach over to the other side. I keep it this way. I put it in this way. I pull it out that way. So I don't know if I'll even keep it on there. I think this is going to be very useful. I can't say I'm not disappointed about the Spellbinders embossing folders. I will say, if you don't realize about the Spellbinders, it's understandable that one might expect 5 inches to be enough for a 5x7 card. Why it's larger than 5 inches is beyond what I could imagine. So I think she's good looking. I think she's a large, nice size, a manageable size for my desk. And I would have even, like I said, purchased smaller cutting plates if I thought this did come with smaller cutting plates, but this may be the only one. I don't know. I have never been a slimline gal. If you wanted to stack some dies, maybe that's your jam. It's not mine. So that's the unboxing. That's my first impression. What do I like? I like the size. And I think it will handle a lot. I like that it comes with a turntable. And I like that it has handles. But I'll have to let you know if I like using it. What do I don't like right out of the box? I don't like that this turntable does not attach. I don't like that the plates are longer than I would probably need, because I'm basically 5x7 or A2, so I don't need a 10-inch. I just don't. But probably more people do like that. It's just not me. And what do I don't like? I don't like it didn't keep into account the Spellbinder option. So that's what I got to say on my first look, first impression. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see a demo, because I will try to make a follow-up. And if not a demo, maybe a head-to-head between the Gemini, the little guy, and the new Elite. So thanks for stopping by. I hope you found this helpful. And until next time, bye-bye, YouTube. Bye.